Well, it's the recycle guy again. And I got my spectacles on, so that means I gotta see something you gotta see. What bothers me is that damn Alco truck in Sim's yard. That bothers me. Why does that bother me? Because it reminds me of something I read about them old Rockefeller tactics. That bothers me. Hey, listen to this. Standard Oil Company of New Jersey versus the United States, year of decision 1911. Key issue: did Standard Oil of New Jersey violate the Sherman Antitrust Act by conspiring to restrain the trade and commerce in petroleum, refined oil, and other products with the intent to monopolize this commerce? Case of the history. History of the case, excuse me. Getting kind of late. Psycho guy working late. From 1870 to 1882, Standard Oil of Ohio, a subsidiary of Standard Oil of New Jersey, entered into an agreement with some 60 other companies engaged in the oil business to fix the price of oil products, limiting their production and controlling their transportation. The participating companies obtained preferential treatment over their competitors from railroads, forcing competitors either to become members or to be driven out of business. This case was brought to the Supreme Court on appeal from the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri. And when I seen that truck in Sim's yard, Alco's truck in Sim's yard, I said to myself, wait a minute. They're telling us that they can't sell the metal. And then they're selling the Sims. But that wasn't really the issue that bothered me so much. I said to myself, now, what happened? Things got desperate. And then they decided, well, listen, let's just call Sims and see, Sims will take it from us. So who did they call? They had to call the big guy, Mike Kuna, because he's the big dog. Or did they just have some luncheon and they sat down and they chit-chatted about it? Because why would Alco call Sims Metals just out of the blue? These guys are big competitors. I mean, this is one of them movie things. I ain't all that smart. But when I sit back and I think about it, I'm saying to myself, now, at some point, Alco made the conscious decision to call Sims. Or they had a meeting, or they had lunch, or they had something, and they sat down and they said, well, okay, hey, look, well, this is what we could give you, da-de-da. How'd that go down? How'd that transpire? They were forced to sell it to Sims? Did you hear that? Were they forced to sell it to Sims? Because the market had dried up and Sims Metals was the controlling monopolist controlling the market? I found that awfully strange. I ain't no rocket scientist and I ain't got no master's degree in constitutional law. But I can read. I ain't stupid. At some point, somebody made a decision at Alco to make contact with Sims Metals to sell that material to Sims Metals. And that damn sure was a secret meeting. I be paying attention, trust me. I'm watching every little rock and grain of sand. Now, I don't care how intelligent you are, if you're a U.S. attorney, whatever. I'm looking at case history here. Standard Oil versus New Jersey. Standard Oil of New Jersey versus the United States. Okay. And the question, like they said, is was they in violation of the Sherman Act? And the same thing here I'm hearing and seeing over there in the recycling business. Now, if you don't think it's alarming that Alco's truck is in Sim's yard and these guys are selling one another and they're fixing the price with one another, because there's no doubt if Alco sells the materials to Sims, then their price is going to reflect whatever price Sims Metals is basically saying the price on the metals is. If Sims Metals is the only buyer. So if Sims Metals is the only buyer, what does that say to you? Let's say they got a grip on the recycling business. They got a grip on the metals business. And then they're going to tell us that these prices are new prices. This is going to be the way it is. This is the norm. Oh, that was the way they put it. This is the new norm. I'm like, oh no, wait a minute. No. Something's wrong with that picture. Okay? This movie picture, it got some issues. Now, yes, I'm naming names. I'm pointing fingers. They ain't gonna like this what I'm talking about. But that's the purpose of scale price. What's happening at the scales. The guys that are controlling these scales, they ain't playing with nobody. They're in a consolidated effort to get their hands on as much of this material as they possibly can, as quick as they possibly can, while nobody's paying attention. And they got federal regulators and local municipalities all uproar about the stolen metal business, but the bottom line is that they're buyers of stolen metals. The yards are. Not just Sims, everybody. And legitimate guys like myself who have been out here slaving our way at the process, okay? They can't tell me that they're up to no good. Let me give you another example. That Sims yard in San Francisco. Oh, Sims they're gonna be hating me. Cause I got news on everybody. I ain't finished with everybody. They're gonna be hating me. I'm like an elephant, I got a memory. But back to that Sims yard over in San Francisco. They got a little ATM machine outside the yard. So you go in there, you do your metals business, they give you a little receipt, you go to this little ATM machine, and out comes the money. And this is going on for a while. Me, I'm trying to be a business, I'm doing my taxes, I'm keeping up with my paperwork, I'm keeping an audit trail on what I'm doing. And when I go to the little ATM machine to pick up the money, there's a garbage can there and it's full of receipts. Oh yeah, I'm blowing a whistle, guys. Because I had a problem with it. I'm sitting up here paying taxes on this money and everybody else is putting their receipts in the garbage. And I'm saying, well, what's up with the garbage can? So I say something to the guy in the yard. He tells me to keep my mouth shut. What do you mean keep my mouth shut? Bottom line is that you guys got this garbage can out here and these guys are putting the receipts in the garbage, so that means they ain't paying no taxes on that money. And you guys are keeping that crap quiet. I said any smart guy is going to come up here and he's going to see that garbage can and he's going to have an issue with that garbage can because you guys are allowing these guys to come here and make this money and they ain't trying to keep the receipts. The only reason why you keep the receipts is because you're trying to, you got to do your taxes on the money. And these guys weren't doing taxes on the money. And it was a lot of guys. I ain't worried about it because I was doing my taxes. So therefore, my records will reflect the period of time that I was there. And I'm sure if the federal government goes in there and takes a look, he's going to find out that a lot of people that were shipping metals to your scales, they wasn't paying taxes and you wasn't keeping track. We weren't giving nobody no tax form on materials that we were sending across the scales. That's right. The only tax form you was giving us is the receipts from us doing the shipping. And if the guy's throwing the receipts in the garbage can, then he ain't paying taxes on it. I had a problem with that. But you gonna call me a crook? Well, you want to know what scale price is? It's the price you got to pay at the scale, buddy.